Hello everyone, Jai Hind and welcome to the platform of StudyIQ IAS in English. My name is Bhavar Singh through MXND 115th course and qualified civil services in 2012 and I welcome you on the platform. Now when it comes to the deadliest missile that is there in the world. So have you ever wondered that which is the deadliest missile that is there? So in India, we know that we have the most heavy and powerful missile that is there. That is Agni 5. But when it comes to the world, it is RS-28 or Sarmat that had been tested recently, and this is the world's deadliest missile that is there. Now, this is also known by the NATO as Satan 2, that is its code name by NATO. And when it comes to this missile, so it was successfully launched in May 2026 from Plesset's Cosmodrome. Over here, President Putin, he have characterized the missile as having no analogues in the world, and it is also capable of penetrating all the modern missile defense systems which are there. Now, this induction, it marks the full replacement of the 1970s era of the missile that was there with USSR or with Russia, that is R-36M or Voyvoda, which was also known by the NATO as Satan. Now, when it comes to this missile, it has a total capability or the range of the missile is 18,000 kilometers. And ultimately over here, this is a peculiarity of this missile that it can or it is capable of striking any point on the earth through the North Pole or the South Pole. Now, when it comes to the technical architecture, there are two of the important technical architecture of this missile which are very, very important. One is the MIRV and the second is the FOBS or FOBS system. Now, when it comes to the MIRV, so the complete missile, when we are talking about Satan 2, so it is a three-stage liquid-fueled heavy missile or ICBM or intercontinental ballistic missile. It can carry up to 10 tons of the payload or it can carry 10 to 15 MIRV warheads. Now, MIRV has an advantage because with MIRV, normally when it comes to the missile, so this is normal missile which has a single warhead. But at the same time, when it comes to MIRV missile, they can carry multiple warheads and they can independently target different targets which are there. So this is the advantage of MIRV technique, that is multiple independent targetable re-entry vehicles. They allow one missile to strike the multiple cities, and also when it comes to Satan 2, it is also HGV compatible, that is it can carry the avant-garde hypersonic glide vehicle which travels at more than 20 Mach. So you can imagine how powerful this complete missile system is. Another important thing or the technical peculiarity of this missile is FOBS, that is fractional orbital bombardment. Now, what is fractional orbital bombardment? We have seen that when it comes to the missile defense or the missile systems which are there, the technology which is there. So we have two different types of missiles. One is ballistic missile. The ballistic missile, it moves in a trajectory. All right, there is a proper trajectory that it follows, and that is why it is called as a ballistic missile. All right, the ballistic missile, it moves out of the atmosphere, and then again it re-enters and then strikes the region where it has to strike. But at the same time, when it comes to FOBS, so the FOBS has an advantage. This is fractional orbital or bombardment, and over here FOBS places the warhead in low Earth orbit before deorbiting towards the target. So this is its advantage. It goes outside, but then it is placed in the low Earth orbit. And ultimately what happens is that the radar is, the intersection is towards the upper area or upper arena. But the warhead is in the lower Earth orbit. So therefore what happens is that they evade the early warning radars which are there. So that is its key implication, that there is no range limit and it can attack from the South Pole as well. Alright, also because of this FOBS or the fractional orbital bombardment, it evades the US early warning radars oriented towards the North Pole and also shortens the decision making window for the defender as well. And that is why I'm telling you that this is the most deadliest missile that we are talking about. Now, this complete test, it has the international implication as well, and there are the certain things that we have to consider while moving ahead. Now, what has happened is that the New START doctrine that was between US and Russia, that has already expired. All right, the expiration or the suspension of the New START Treaty in 2026. Now, this has an implication because this removes the limit on the deployed nuclear warheads by both the nations. And ultimately, we will see that there will be a race, nuclear weapons race, that will start after this as well. And that was one of the implications that I had also mentioned when I was talking about the collapse of the New START doctrine. Also, Sarmat ensures that Russia maintains second strike capability and preventing the US from achieving the nuclear primacy as well. And this is the strategic parity that Russia has gained after developing Sarmat. Also, this will also trigger a security dilemma where the defensive measures that had been taken by the NATO, they will lead to further offensive upgrades by Russia, and that we will see in the upcoming future again. Now, this has the strategic equation for India as well, because when it comes to the Agni 5, so Agni 5 has the range of more than 5,000 kilometers, and also there has been recent mission Divyastra. Now, through mission Divyastra, we have also tested the MIRV technique, and this shows that India is moving towards the similar deterrents that are there. But there are certain challenges for India because ultimately when it comes to the making of ICBM or intercontinental ballistic missile, that pressures on India's no first use doctrine as well. There's also increased nuclear volatility in the neighborhood because we know that China has the ICBM or intercontinental ballistic missile DF-41. And there is also need for, right now after this test of Sarmat, so we know that there is need for Indo-Russian science and tech cooperation in the hypersonic technology, and that is again, it is a very important implication or the strategic equation that India has right now. So these are some of the missiles that you can see. RS-28 Sarmat that I have already told you about. We have Agni 5 which has a range of 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers. Then DF-41, this is Dongfeng 41 that is of China, and it is ICBM capable of targeting the ranges from 12,000 to 15,000 kilometers. And then there is LGM-30 Minuteman 3 missile. This is basically again 13,000 kilometer is the range, and it is also an ICBM. So these are some of the missiles that are there which are capable of targeting the ranges beyond 5,000 kilometers. Now over here, this is very important because this also raises an ethical question about the MAD doctrine. MAD is basically mutually assured destruction. This is a theory, and it says that the rationality of the nuclear deterrence depends upon the irrationality of the threat of total annihilation. Now also over here there are two views, that is utilitarian view which says or which raises the question that the nuclear peace that is preventing the major war justify the risk of human extinction. And there is also deontological view where holding millions of civilians hostages as a deterrent is an inherent violation of the human rights that has to be thought upon. So there are the ethical framework to this complete dimension as well. Now, what are the challenges and practical limitations that are there in front of Russia after development of Sarmat missile? Now, the first thing is that this is a silo-based missile. Now, when it comes to the silo-based missiles, they are sitting ducks compared to the road mobile system. All right, like we have Agni, we have Russia's Yars as well. So the road mobile systems, basically they can be transported from one place to the another, but the silo, they are basically sitting ducks and they could be targeted easily. At the same time, there is economic burden as well because the maintenance of the super heavy ICBM that will drain the Russian economy amidst the ongoing conflict and the sanctions that had been imposed on Russia. Also, when it comes to the complex liquid fuel handling, so this is very complex, and the MIRV separation, they have led to the multiple failures and the failed ejections test between 2017 to 2023. So again, this is the implication or the limitations that the Russia will have. Now, what is the way forward for India as well as the globe? So it is very important that we must ensure the global stability in a multipolar world that we are seeing right now. Now, there is a need that there should be Arms Control 2.0 treaty that should be signed, and it should be a trilateral treaty including USA, Russia and China, so that we can prevent a race and especially the nuclear race in the future. Also, there must be reducing of the launch on warning status for the ICBMs to prevent the accidental nuclear war. Now, what is the launch on warning? The launch on warning is basically like, for example, I will give you an example that, XYZ country has fired a missile. Now there is, the other country which sees that missile is coming towards it. It will not wait until the missile will hit the country. All right, it will launch on the warning, and there will be another missile that will be launched by the country to which the missile had been launched. Now this is what the launch on warning status is. Now this is that there should be de-alerting, and ultimately the ICBMs, they should not be used for launch on warning systems. All right, that is again very, very important thing that we can do, and we can think of about moving forward. And also when it comes to India's role, it is very important because we have the new no first use policy. So we should advocate for a universal no first use through the global UN global disarmament agenda, and that is, or that could be the way forward moving ahead when it comes to the increasing threat about the nuclear arsenals that we are seeing that may increase in the near future. So that would be all in this video, but at the same time, before moving ahead and ending the session, let me tell you that if you are preparing for the civil services for 2027 or for 2028, then you can enroll into the UPSC courses on StudyIQ. And also we are giving you the offer, and this offer is just available till 15th of May, and you are getting 50% validity along with 50% off along with double validity on all the UPSC courses which are available. Now what you need to do is, for availing this offer, you need to use the code that is BRS Live, and you will get the maximum discount. Also, I'll be starting off with the public administration optional batch from tomorrow. That is from 15th of May. So again, what you need to do is, you need to enroll into the batch. If you are looking for a very lucrative optional for your 2027 or 2028, then you can enroll into the public administration batch, and we will start off with the session or the classes from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow on 15th of May, I'll be taking the orientation class. All right, so that would be all. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me over here. But remember, on 15th of May, we are ending off with 50% off and double validity. So please enroll before 15th of May so that you can have the advantage of the benefit that is being provided to you. And also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any of the updates in the future. So that would be all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care and Jai Hind.